Hello, cookbook friends, and welcome. You've probably heard me say this a lot. I've been wanting to just make my own food like from scratch for a long time, and I was not expecting the Modern Pioneer cookbook to be as informative as, just from the top of my head. This cookbook is really great. So, for all of you millennials like myself that are trying to, be more sustainable and go back to the basics, this is definitely a very cool cookbook. So, let's look at it together. Yeah, you get to learn a lot. So here we have our giant table of contents. It's actually 4 pages long here, as you can see. Not as many photos, so here I'll just flip through it so you can kind of see. It's like little small photos, which I don't mind because this cookbook is more about learning some of the fundamentals and using all of the parts of like meat, vegetables, herbs, all kinds of stuff, and really, truly getting back to the basics. So this is the Modern Pioneer. Here's our introduction. What does that actually mean? So it talks about the importance of eating seasonally, tools you'll need, equipping your kitchen. And I think probably the biggest thing that's really difficult for a lot of people is how many tools are necessary, but not really necessary, but for some reason we think they're not, at least I do. So first chapter, bone broths. So we go into different stocks, broths, and what you can do. There's a ton of ways to do this. So she talks about different parts of the animal you can use, but here's some photos. We have a beef bone broth, roast chicken bone broth. We have cook's notes kind of trickled throughout this cookbook as well. A beautiful skin bone broth. Then we have here bits and bobs bone broth. So again, you can kind of, use all of it rather than just, tiny parts of the chicken. So our next chapter is the skinny on fats. This one's really interesting because it does talk about learning or using like beef tallow, how to even get it, leaf lard, can you eat cracklings? Can you use a slow cooker? Should you use water? So here is how you can make tallow, which is fantastic, interesting. Rendering chicken fat to make schmaltz. A lot of these skills I feel like aren't even, I don't know. Even schmaltz, I've never even heard about. Like, I'm sure I have, but it's just not something in my regular jargon. All right, so here we have homemade dairy. This is a chapter that I think I'm going to really rely on because I've been wanting to do this. And honestly, I think making dairy is probably a great way to even save money. And it's fresh. You can kind of, you can make your own stuff. So here you can make your own cream cheese, mock cream cheese. This is learning what the difference between like clarified butter, ghee, and brown butter. And honestly, I did think clarified butter and ghee were the same, but apparently they're not. We have making your own cottage cheese. And apparently this is very easy to do. We just need to learn to slow down and actually do these things. This is a pickling and fermenting chapter. So I love this. It talks about all kinds of things like the bacteria, the water, washing your jars, how to do these things properly, tannins. So here is a starter. This looks stunning. Beautiful. I don't know pickled vegetables, just generally. I'd probably eat this whole glass when we're done. Oh man, sauerkraut, of course. Sweet and sour fermented red cabbage. So different flavor variations from all over the world. So Italy, we have like kimchi from Korea. This is pickled ginger carrots, which sounds amazing. And then we have the home baker. So this is the bread. So this includes things like doing a sourdough starter, how to actually make, are all the ingredients. So how to actually use yeast, why and how to knead. There's no knead bread here, but then there's other breads as well. Here we have the sourdough starter. You can maybe see that. I know it's really bright, and it's a sourdough starter. How to make 100% hydration sourdough starter. So this book is definitely more like there are pictures, which helps, But it does, and it gives you applications so you can actually put all of this knowledge to the test, which I really appreciate. But this is definitely one that you want to sit down and kind of read through and learn about all of the different ingredients, which I really like. This one's an interesting chapter. I kind of skipped over. It's the sprouting chapter. So like, brining beans and sprouting lentils, that sort of thing. Sprouted spelt and oats breakfast bread. So different applications for these things. Condiments and flavor boosters. How to make your own ketchup. How to make your own hot sauce. How to make your own bouillon cubes. This is raw apple cider vinegar. I mean, that's not too bad to, buy, but also it'd be cool to just be able to know how to make it. We have homemade mustard, olive oil and egg mayonnaise. Different variations. There's ketchup. Here's the bouillon, different vegetable bouillon. Traditional superfoods. So homemade digestive bitters, marrow. It says herbed kippers and rice. So here we go. Digestive bitters. This is just a really awesome cookbook. So as you can see, this is definitely for, I guess, homemakers, or just like people who want to learn how to get down to the basics. People like me, I want to learn how to do more farm to table. So even my own little garden, learning how to use all of the different bits and kind of some of the fundamentals, and maybe save some money, make things in bulk, share all of those things with my loved ones. So if you are interested, check out the Modern Pioneer Cookbook. It's really good and it's really helpful. Lots and lots of knowledge. It's pretty tick. All right, if you're looking for other cookbooks that are similar to this, make sure to check out our playlist. We do have a lot of different cookbooks because I'm experimenting and just because they're really fun. They're really cool to look through. And make sure to join us on our socials. You can find all of that stuff in the description down below. And to tell your friends and family about Cookbook Divas. You can join us, follow us if you like cookbooks. We'd love that. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.